Welcome to episode 2 of the Wealthy Me podcast, How to Reinvent Yourself to Become the Wealthy Version of You Right Now. My name is Tasha, and I guide women to step into their Wealthy Me era, where wealth is ease, joy, and this kind of freedom. Like, pinch me, this is work. And so, before I jump in today, I just want to say hi officially from the Amalfi Coast of Italy. Last week, I was in Croatia for our Goddess Well Circle retreat. It's a tough life, but you know what? Somebody's got to do it, and I'm willing to take one for the team. But really, when I talk about showing women how to step into their wealthy era, this for me is that's what this is. Like, this is work. Seriously, I am working. I don't know about you, but I mean, I think every woman deserves her version of wealth. For me, traveling, seeing beautiful places since I was a little kid, this has always been my absolute wildest dream. And I'm very, very happy and excited to be able to be doing this live this morning here and sharing with you. One quick second. Oops. And just so you know, fun things are going to happen this morning because if you could see the contraption I've got going on, oh my gosh, it's all kinds of funny. So that you can, okay, hang on a second. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So if you could just let me know in the chat that you can hear me, that would be amazing. And while I try to keep this phone upright as best as I can. All right. Most people use Q4 to think about what's happened this year and start to think about what they want to do next year. And I just want to throw that out the window completely. And I want to have a different conversation because I believe for me and for the women that I support and guide and coach, Q4 is what I call reinvention season. I just told you we've been in Croatia at the Goddess Well Circle. And I use this time of year to take the goddesses, these are the women that work with me at the highest level. I use this time of year to take them away from their regular environment, regular life, to step into a space and time where they can really self-reflect on who do I want to be from here? Who do I want to be next? What's the identity that I want to step into from this moment, this moment in time? And so most people, sit around and they're like, what are my goals for the next year? What do I want to do? What are the things that I want to bring in? And I'm going to invite you, when you think about reinvention and this season, is to really think about, I want to become the wealthier version of me in 2026. And if that's you and you want to reinvent into that version of you, then the question isn't, what do I want to do? What do I want to have? It's really, who do I want to become? What is the identity, the wealthier version of me? What are the attributes of that version of me that I want to step into? I'm going to tell you this, the story that really hit me with this was recently I was thinking back to when I had another business and I had to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I'll say often that Chapter 11 bankruptcy was the greatest seven-figure lesson I've ever learned. Yes, in order for you to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy, just so you know, you have to have seven figures, multiple seven figures. And so that period in my life really helped me to realize I had what it takes. And this is from all my high achieving women. I know you can relate to this. I had what it took to create seven figures. I had the work ethic, I had the wisdom, I had the ideas, I had the business structure, I had all the things that said, yeah, sure, you can do it. You can create seven figures. What having to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy made me realize is I didn't have the identity that said, you are the woman who can hold seven figures. You are the woman who can grow it, multiply it, keep it. And so there's a massive distinction in identity between the woman who can make it. Truly, I believe any one of you can watching can do that. But the identity we want to step into, the wealthier version of us, is that identity where we are the woman who makes it, keeps it, grows it, multiplies it, right? Creates generational and legacy wealth. That's the identity that we want to step into. So If you are considering, I want to use these next 3 months, and that's what I love about the last 3 months of the year, is that it's enough time not to jump into, oh, this is what I want to do, just for you to reflect. And if you are feeling like I really want to commit to stepping into reinventing myself, one of my favorite things about being a believer is the promise of you can be born again. And yes, when you're a believer, that is to be baptized, to be, oops, sorry, this is going to just happen a lot. It's windy. And I got a little contraption going on. I lost my selfie stick. So I'm going to show you what this looks like in the background. But one of the things about being born again is at any moment in time, you have the opportunity to become new, to make yourself over, yes, in the body of Christ, yes, but also I believe that's a metaphor for at any point in time, you can be born again to the version of you that you choose to be. And so for me, right now, in these last 3 months of the year, I'm sitting back considering, who do I want to be born again as in 2026? What is the identity of the woman I want to be next year? So I'm going to give you 3 areas that I'm thinking about. This is just right for you to reflect on. But what I want you to know is once you decide, you can step into that version of you right now. You're literally one decision away from the wealthy version of you that you choose to become from this moment forward. I would encourage you though to like really reflect on these 3 things as you're making the decision. So the 3 areas, number one, the wealthy version of you, reinventing yourself physically, reinventing yourself spiritually, and reinventing yourself in the characteristics and the qualities of the version of you that you want to be as wealthy you. And I think that's really important because again, those of us that are high achieving women, the issue is not that we don't know how to make 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, 8 figures. The issue is if we do it the hard way, if we do it where we sacrifice everything, if we do it where we lose our families, is that really, we lose who we are? Is that really wealthy for us? Right? So we really want to decide on the characteristics, reinventing ourselves spiritually and reinventing ourselves physically. Now I'm going to start with physically. The obvious is most people go, oh, next year I want to lose 30 pounds and I want to get to this size. I'm not talking about changing your identity physically in terms of what you not losing weight. It's more about losing your old appearance, losing when you walk out. And this is a good way to look at it. When you walk out into the world and other people see you, do they see the regular you or do they see the wealthy you? One of the things that over the years I've had to normalize is I am very, you always hear me say, oh, I'm an island girl. I just want to be out in my tank top and shorts and my hair in a bun. And I've had to really ask myself, like, what is a shortcut way that can help me step into full embodiment of the wealthy me? And one of the easiest ways to reinvent yourself is your physical appearance. It's when you go out into the world, normalize wearing your nice stuff. There I have like all these beautiful, wonderful gifts that my husband have given me. And I have to catch myself like, oh, when we're going out to a nice dinner, that's when I'll wear that. Or, oh, on a special occasion, I'll wear those earrings. Or I'll carry those purse once a year from that purse once a year for my birthday. I have to realize like physically the wealthy version of me in her appearance, that is not a big deal, right? Like the Hermes purse is not a big deal. The Chanel purse, not a big deal. It's a everyday, it's Chanel, Coach, same difference. When you see me, I want for everyone in my environment to see the wealthy version of me physically. And that has nothing to do with how much I weigh. It's about losing the old appearance, the old regular version of me, and stepping into if I take the time, energy, and effort to step into the wealthy me in appearance, when you see me, you see it. Where 2 or more are joined, I literally just hired you to help me step into the wealthy version of me. Because when I take the time to normalize my appearance as wealthy, and you see me and you see wealth, 2 or more, right? That now makes that reality true. So start just reflecting for yourself. and asking, when I'm going out in my appearance, am I going out there in regular me or wealthy me? And in 2026, in the next year, who do I want to be seen as physically in my appearance? How can I reinvent myself in my physical appearance? And again, this has nothing to do with losing weight. It's more about losing your old ways, your old appearance, and choosing, I want to reinvent. You can literally start today, and it's 2:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Italy, but I'm usually on the East Coast. It's 8 a.m. Today you could wear something different. You could take your fancy earrings out and put those on and immediately reinvent yourself that quickly. Now let's talk about spiritually reinventing yourself. One of my favorite passages from the Bible on this is Ephesians 4, verse 22 to 24. And I'm going to paraphrase. It says, "You were taught to put off your old self and be made new in your attitude, to put on a new self so that you can become more like the Creator." Or the way I understand it is, what what we're meant to be doing is to become more like the Creator intended for us to be. And I stand on this. I believe that the Creator intended for us to have wealth and have it with ease. So for me, reinvention is a spiritual command. It is you owe it to your time here, your chance to be alive. The fact that you are in this moment here in this message, you owe it to the Creator to always be reinventing yourself, to become truly the way you were created to be, which is wealth and abundance. Like, you cannot tell me all of this beauty was made not for me to be enjoying it and for you to be enjoying it, right? Not for me to be, or you to be working so hard that you have no time for all of this magnificent magnificence. None of that was the intention. So I owe it to myself. You owe it to yourself to take off the old attitude that says you have to work hard and save until you are near death to travel the world. No, no. It's time to step into the new reinvented version of you that has wealth with ease. Um, I this is something that I'm so passionate about. So I have to calm myself down before I say it, or it's gonna come out, just really too passionate. If your identity stays the same, your reality has no choice but to repeat itself. If your identity stays the same, if you are not committed to this reinvention work, then your reality, your life has no choice but to stay the same. And so if you're not committed to reinventing yourself, here's what's going to happen. Next year, you're going to live the same version of you that was here this year, the version of you that was here 5 years ago, the version of you. Like, I can't even imagine going into 2026 being the Tasha of 2016. I was so messed up in 2016. That version of me did not know what she deserved. That version of me settled. That version of me people pleased. That version of me, like, oh my gosh, no, bye to her. I am fully committed going into this next year to reinvent, to like say goodbye to the version of me that I am even in this moment making this video, and welcome in the next ascended wealthy version of me. So spiritually, I think that is a thing to consider is, okay, what does the next level new attitude version of me spiritually look like? How can I choose to reinvent myself right now in that way? And one of the most powerful things for me on my spiritual journey was to say, I'm going to choose to see myself the way the Creator sees me, the way the Creator loves me unconditionally. I'm going to step into having a new attitude about who I am, what I'm capable of, what I'm here to do, the bigness of me. I'm going to choose to take on that attitude, to make myself new in that way. Let's talk about reinventing yourself in character. Who do you, when I meet you, when I have a conversation with you, what are the characteristics and the qualities of who you are being as the wealthy version of you that I'm going to pick up on? And so I just want to give you a couple to consider, because this is personal. You get to decide if you're reinventing yourself. I don't think it's so much somebody should be telling you who you should be or what you should do. I think this is really personal. It's meant for you to go, This is who I'm choosing to be. This is, it's no good for me to tell you who you should be. And then it's not your choice. That's not fun. And you're not going to do it, stick with it. So here are some of the things that I'm thinking about. When I think about my character, who I want to identify as in character, the character traits that I want in my new identity. I'm thinking about having more courage. So many women, high achieving women, struggle with visibility. That's a courage issue. That's a self trust issue. That's this week at the Goddess Retreat. One of the things that we talked about is, we struggle with visibility because for so long people told us we're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You always get it wrong. Well, you know what? In my new identity, the one that I'm claiming, anything that I choose to do is the right thing and it's the right way, period. So the character traits that I want to embody is more courage, more self-trust, more self-honoring, self-love. I want magnetism, right? I want to be like, think about this. You can make yourself in any version of you in your wealthy you that you decide. One of the things I think every woman should like embark on in your new identity is magnetism. Be the woman who walks in the room and everyone wants to know who you are. I think that's the best uh, networking thing anybody could do. Instead of me chasing all these people, I want the kind of magnetism in my wealthy identity where everybody wants to know who I am. Who is that chick? What's she doing? I want to get to know her. Can you introduce me to her? Like, that's the place that we want to be, right? So maybe you would consider in your new wealthy identity having more magnetism, more joy. Here's a good one. In your new wealthy identity, being the woman who has a characteristic of being great with money, who when money comes to you, you grow it, you multiply it, you normalize that. That's not a big deal for you. You just that's just a character that you have. You're great with money. You're great at multiplying money. Um, More joy, more certainty. One of the things, as I'm thinking about the money thing, I remember at 5 years old, I was the little valedictorian at my elementary school, and I had to memorize Matthew 25, the parable of the talents. And it has always stuck with me. Like, one of the characteristics I really want to keep expanding is taking the gifts and talents that I've been given and multiplying them, getting to that point where the ultimate for me is hearing you took what I gave you, Tasha, and you did everything that you possibly could in this lifetime with it. Well done, good and faithful servant. No gift was left unturned. You didn't shy away from stepping out because you didn't have courage. You got courage. You took on and said, yeah, I'm going to recreate myself with this new identity of a woman who has courage, who has discipline, who knows what she wants and goes for it. What I'm saying to you is today, in this moment, you can decide to be born again. You can decide to reinvent yourself, to become the version of you that you choose to be, the version of you that when you think of you as wealthy, all of these things are included physically, spiritually, and in your character. Now, I have a strong position on trying to figure this all out alone. I do not think I know for myself, and I'll raise my hand first. I didn't get here. I'm looking around at this place that we're staying, and I'm like, how in the world did this little island girl end up living this life? And yes, I created it. I did all the things that I'm telling you, but along the way, I did not do this alone. I absolutely did not. I've had so much support in my life, so many mentors, so many people showing me the shortcuts, the easier way. And so if you feel like this next year, you really want to step into the wealthier version of you, the identity of the wealthier version of you, because this is identity work. That's what this is all about. You can only go so far with your effort and your gifts and your ideas. It's kind of like I said with me and the business before. I was capable of making seven figures, but the identity that I had at the time was not one that could hold it, that could keep it, that could grow it. Even though I got it, I didn't believe I deserved it. I didn't have the identity that meant this is who I am. I'm a multimillionaire woman who grows and multiplies her money with ease. So if you know you want that, you want to step into the wealthier version of you, you want to do this identity work, I'm going to be inviting you, type the word identity. Let me see if I can, jump over here and click something. Type the word identity in the chat. You'll get a link to register yourself for the October 29th, the Wealthy Me, it's an identity activation. It's specifically about just this one thing. Who do you identify as? And is that identity holding you stuck, keeping you repeating the life that you've had? And how can we break out of that identity into the identity that's a match for the wealthy you? If you know you want that, you want to be there, it's a free event, it's free live. If you can't make it, you want the replay, I'm always dropping amazing wisdom. So you want to get access to the replay so you can listen to it a couple times. Then when you register, also get VIP, right? But type the word identity, follow the prompts, get yourself registered. If for whatever reason you don't have Messenger, you don't see the prompts coming, you can also go to tashachen.com/identity. tashachen.com/identity. October 29th, it's going to be 88 minutes as usual of just truth bombs, transformation, showing you the way, the shortcuts, the easier way. What I can tell you, having done this work for 20 years, is I did it the hard way for a long time, not realizing I had to, the identity I needed was the work that had to be done first to make sure I could access higher levels of wealth and I could keep it, grow it, and have it come with more ease. Mwah. I love you all. Have a great Monday. As for me and mine, we shall be vacationing. um, uh, yeah, I wish you were here. You should be. Actually, here we go. Let me show you. Yeah, that. This for me, this is wealthy. I don't know about for you, but for me, this is wealthy. And what I have for myself, I want for everyone. Bye, everyone. Have a great Monday.